right, let's go. Short and sweet today. Short and sweet. Work tough, hard nosed. They talk tough. They talk hard nosed. I love every single one of your asses. And we're going to leave every single thing on this damn field. Let's have fun today. We're the best team in this league. And tonight, we show the world why. Let's go.
Let's go on the beat. Grab your cowboy boots, put on your Stetsons, and head to Whataburger. Hard Knocks is coming to Houston, and the Around the NFL guys are here, Chris and Greg, to break down the 10th season of this show. And gosh, if we get more stuff like we just saw from J.J. Watt, this could be the best yet.
I don't know about that. Texans, though, so will surprise you. They're not a team that you think of other than J.J. Watt as an exciting team, but that's what Hard Knocks is all about. It's hard to come up with a bad season of Hard Knocks. They make every team more interesting.
Well, and they're really good about finding storylines that you can follow every year, and certainly it's easy to fall in love with a team like we did with the Falcons last year. This year, there's a couple of storylines to follow. Right off the top, you've got a quarterback battle between Ryan Mallett and Brian Hoyer.
Well, I think we know who Brian Hoyer is at this point, and most NFL teams consider him a high-end backup. We don't know who Mallett is. I think the Texans want to figure that out, so that would give him the edge.
Do you think the Texans see him as a high-end backup? Isn't there a chance Bill O'Brien, who worked with Hoyer in New England, see him as a guy that's a better option than Mallett?
Well, I think if that was the case, he would come out and say he's a better option than Mallett, right?
Well, he'll watch. He'll see it during training camp.
It takes away all the suspense when you watch Hard Knocks.
That's true. I mean, Mallett is an interesting guy to watch, particularly for this series. He's an interesting personality. He's a smart guy. But I think he's a little looser maybe with what he says than a normal quarterback, and he could be someone I think that ends up being kind of one of the breakout interesting players from this series.
I think we're going to see both of these quarterbacks this season.
Start games.
It would be a shock if we don't.
Who do you think week one?
I think Mallett.
Well, we'll watch Hard Knocks and find out. I can guarantee we'll also be watching Jadeveon Clowney when this series hits on August 11th, because certainly we're not going to use the bust word, but it was a disappointing first year. He's had microfracture surgery, getting ready for this season. How will he recover? We'll be watching.
Yeah, he is one of the more intriguing defensive players in the whole league to watch, because if they were redrafting that 2014 draft, which was a great one, would he even go in the top 5? Would he go in the top 10? He has a chance to be special playing next to J.J. Watt, but there are concerns when he was coming out about everything other than what's on the field, and we'll get to see that on Hard Knocks.
Well, it reminds you, to answer your question, it reminds you a little bit of Daquan Bowers when he had the microfracture surgery, and they were talking about him going number 1 overall, slipped to the middle of the second round. So now Jadeveon Clowney, microfracture surgery is no joke. We have no idea what he's going to be this year.
The difference is Daquan Bowers hasn't made some splash plays in the preseason or even the regular season that Clowney has. We've seen that talent come out, so it'd be nice to see it again this year.
Yeah, we know how high that ceiling is. It's just going to be where does he land after what is, by all accounts, a difficult surgery to recover from. And really, when you look at this entire roster, a couple of intriguing storylines we just mentioned, but as always on Hard Knocks, we see a guy who has that breakout personality, the guy that really captures our attention. Who do you think for the Texans could be that guy this year?
I'm going to go with Bill O'Brien. Now, he's not a guy that people don't know, but he's different than people
But we
think.
don't know him, his personality yet.
When he's at the press conferences, he has a little bit of Belichick about him, but you kind of saw that Boston side. He's a guy who grew up in Dorchester. I think he likes to put a few back. He's a sarcastic guy. He's very funny, cutting. I think you'll see that other side of him where he's a little closer to a Rex Ryan type than really a Bill Belichick type.
Oh, I think Arian Foster is the obvious choice, right?
Okay.
He's already been in the movie Draft Day. He had a pretty big part in that. He fancies himself a poet and a rapper. This guy's got a very colorful personality. He's smart. Can be a little ponderous at times, but he's smart and doesn't think quite like your everyday average football player.
Okay. All the Texans players also said to watch out for Ben Jones, their center, who will eat any food that you put in front of him, like insects or anything.
That's going to be a breakout segment on Hard Knocks, I'm sure. I just want to see if Coach shows up wearing Tevas like we saw with Mike Smith last year in Atlanta.
That was the beginning of the end. When you saw Coach in Tevas, you thought this is the end of Mike Smith in Atlanta.
If he's 10, maybe 15 years behind fashion trends, how far is he behind in offensive and defensive trends, too?
It's a fair question.
We have seen the past 5 teams on Hard Knocks improve their record the year they were featured on the show. Is that going to happen for this team?
No. Sorry.
Just unequivocally.
Unequivocally. They had the easiest schedule in the NFL last year, and one of the easiest schedules I've ever seen, which went a long way toward explaining their 9-7 record without good quarterback play. So they still have question marks at quarterback. I don't know if J.J. Watt can carry them to another 9 wins against a superior schedule this year.
I don't love their defense other than J.J. Watt. I mean, he carried them, but I think they'd have to be much better just to win 7, 8, 9 games because of the schedule. It wouldn't surprise me if they fell down to 3rd or even 4th in that division and be really one of the more disappointing teams in the league this year.
So maybe if they don't make the playoffs, we just have like a J.J. Watt touchdown counter watch.
Sure.
You know,
I think that will happen regardless, right?
J.J. Watt touchdowns versus Texans wins might be closer than they want this
Which one do
year.
you take? All right, well, it all kicks off on August 11th on HBO, the 10th season of Hard Knocks featuring the Houston Texans. In the meantime, keep up with all the latest news, notes from around the league at NFL.com/aroundthenFL.